Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff St Laurent, and this is the Tuesday Live Show. And excited as usual to be on today and to be with all of you. And as we talk about how to become more visible, why to become more visible, the answer seems obvious. Duh, why do I need to become more visible? But we're going to talk about that today because being visible is really the number one thing we need to do in our audience the number one thing we need to do in our business, because our number one job is to build an audience of our fans who love what we do, love us, whatever reason it is. There'll be the haters out there, but we want to find the people who are connected with our energy and our enthusiasm and our message and what we can help them with. And that's the point of what we're going to be talking about today, and helping you get out there more and become more visible. I do record all of these Tuesday live shows, and I put them on my website, sellingcoaching.com, under the university. I have a fantastic group of resources there for you, very detailed resources as I help coaches transition to a full-time business, helping you get your structure set up from the marketing down to who you help with what specifically, getting you out there, creating those sales conversations, and helping you with, when you get to that point, convert those leads into paying clients. And that's that selling skill set. So check out my university at sellingcoaching.com. And then right on the homepage, I have a fantastic resource as well, where you can enter your name and email address, and you can have instant access to launching your full-time coaching business, the first 3 vital steps. So go ahead and do that. That's also going to put you in my email community, and that's going to allow you to get a chance to not only see how I communicate with my audience on a weekly basis, but also get some great information as I share with my audience a couple emails a week in terms of helping educate you and bringing you to that space where you can really do this coaching thing and get paid for it for real. And part of what I like to talk about as I ground myself into the topic today of how to become more visible, as what I sought out to do. I've been doing this full time since 2014. So I'm going into my 15th year in business as a full-time coach. And one of the things what that motivated me to get back and shift from where I was as a coach, if you will, a life coach. And I worked with entrepreneurs and things like that as well, and just everyday people, if you will. But what allowed me to really motivate me to shift into becoming a mentor coach for coaches like who want to transition to a full-time business is because I really wanted to understand. So I really wanted to help you understand not only the selling aspect of it, but the realities of why, or the realities of how we build a business. That's really what it comes down to. And it's not an easy thing. And unfortunately, in the world of marketing, there's way too many people out there who just portray it as easy and quick. And and it's not necessarily easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Don't mistake the two. And it also takes time. And anyone that you see that's achieving any level of success has had years of work. And even if it's in a new arena, let's say they're new to coaching, and all of a sudden over the first year or so, they're creating a 6-figure income and they're creating some success there. Just remember that whatever they've done prior to that, a lot of those skill sets might be transferable, or they might have had a lot of contacts, or, so there's reasons. Success is not an accident. Success is it's the next step in a series of steps. So in other words, if you haven't taken many, if any, steps, it's going to be impossible for you to create any type of success. In other words, right? And so we got to start to realize that. And so as we start to think about becoming more visible in our business, we've got to think about what is our message that we're going to start to speak. And the reason why I'm starting to, in my private Facebook group, I started a visibility challenge. And this is the 4th time in that group over the last, 4 years that I've done this visibility challenge. I've done it in a few different ways, but it's always been the visibility challenge. And if you want to check that out, the easiest way to find my Facebook group is go to sellingcoaching.com, and right at the top of every page, you'll see an invitation with a link or a button to click, and it'll bring you right over to my private Facebook group. If you're not a member, just request to join, and I'll approve you and get you in there. And if you check at the top of the group at the announcements section, I have all the details of the visibility challenge, and I'll talk about that a little bit more as we close this show out today. But part of the reason why I do that is because in the beginning as a coach, and even if you've been doing it a little while, what I find is a lot of people get frustrated because they're not getting clients. And if you're not getting clients, what that's telling me is that you're not getting yourself your message out into the world. And if you are, sorry, rewind just a second, not getting it out into the world and or not doing it on a consistent or frequent enough basis. So frequent enough and or consistent enough for you to get traction with it. Because what I know for a fact, doing this for 15 years, and I started off face-to-face live events, and then I shifted where I'm at now, where it's 100% virtual, well, 99% virtual, right? So what I know is in both situations, if you consistently and frequently get your message out in front of and expose it to enough people, you're going to have business. Even if you're horrible, you're going to get business. And what I mean is by horrible is like, if you don't have it all together yet, you're not quite super articulate, or if you're aligned and you're congruent and you're passionate about what you do and your message behind it, and you feel somewhat confident as a coach and you have people's best interest in mind, people are going to hire you. And it doesn't matter what your prices are, whether the high, the low, in the middle, and you haven't figured all your systems yet and you don't quite know what you're doing, you're going to get business. It's a fact. I've seen it plenty of times, and I've done it myself. And I've done it when I wasn't fully, mastered some things, or I've done videos and they haven't been great, or, I've spoken and I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be, or, whatever the case is. And I get business from it, and I evolved and I matured and I grew and I get better. So I know it's possible. So what it's going to boil down to is you finding a way and creating a habit from that way of getting your message out there. And so as I start this visibility challenge again, this is part of the philosophy behind it all, is I know that coaches aren't getting their message out there. And it doesn't mean that by doing videos on a regular basis, once every 3 days, once a week, whatever frequency you're doing them is, even if it's once every 2 weeks, which is a little too infrequent, and we need to do it at least 1 week. But the point is that by starting to do this, we're going to start to develop a habit. And I don't care if you're starting off and you can't figure it out or you can't get your words out. If you have to get in front of a video camera or a live broadcast, like a Facebook live broadcast or a YouTube live broadcast, Instagram, and I think LinkedIn's going to start doing those as well. And there's probably other platforms where you can do live broadcasts as well. But the point is that even if you get in front of it and you're just stumbling and you're mumbling your words, or it's not like the best thing, like, it's okay. Get something across. Get something out. Try and spit it out. And the great part about it is if you're at that level where it's not great and it does suck, because maybe it will. A lot of people are holding back because they're fearful. They're like, oh my God, what do I have to say? Who's going to listen to it? Like, most likely no one, especially if you don't do it. And if you do it and it's like, oh, I'm going to suck. It's like, well, you probably will suck. So what? So suck. And then suck a little less the next time, and suck a little less the next time, and just at some point, we all suck a little bit like this. And then at some point you get better and better. And the whole point is, this doesn't matter what other people think to a certain degree. It's what you start to think, meaning you've got to start to do it where you can start to feel confident. And that's what matters the most. I can get up here and people are like, this guy, Jeff, he sucks, or blah, blah, blah. And ultimately, long-term, that's going to matter if no one thinks I'm good and no one wants to, come on board and either hire me or become part of my community. But what's important in the beginning is for you to believe that you're good, not in an egotistical way, but in a confident way, in a confident, proud way, not like I'm the man, or the woman, right? But you're just like, I can do this and I'm good and I feel good about it and I'm passionate about it. And that's what it's about. And you don't need Toastmasters. You don't need filmography. You don't need, all like, oh, I need to practice all this stuff. You practice real time. You get up there, you do a Facebook Live, you video yourself, and you do it for real. And that's what escalates it, because it escalates it to the level that it draws something from within inside of you. And that's why I've done over the last year plus or so, I've always been doing videos for a long time and encouraging my clients to do videos. But ever since Facebook really made live video like the thing, and whether it was Facebook or YouTube or whatever, who cares who started it? But since it's become a lot more, if you will, mainstream. And when I say mainstream, I wouldn't say it's mainstream in terms of everyone's using it, but everyone knows it's possible. And everyone knows at some level, like, I probably should be using video, but they're not, because of all these reasons why. And so the reason I love that so much, and I really promote that, and especially challenge my clients to do it, and why, especially live video, whether you're using that for the challenge or not, whether it's recorded or live, doesn't matter what you use. But I love the live aspect, because when you go live, even if there's 0 watchers, the great part about it is that you're live and someone could watch you. And the fact is if you go on a TV show, or if you went on the news and someone was interviewing you live, or like a radio station, you have to figure out what to say. And if they ask you a question and you can't quite find the answer, or you can't quite find the words, and you're bubbling or whatever, it's just like, are you going to like just get off and run away? Maybe someone would, but I would say in most cases, you're not just going to be like, oh my God, I can't handle this, and you're going to run out of the room. You're going to just suck it up, and you're going to be like, hold on a second, let me get my composure, or I guess I'm a little bit nervous, am I? And then you're going to come up with your words. And that's what I want you to do is what that's going to do is that's going to pull out and extract something from you. And we've got to look at what that something is. And that's where we start to hone and develop and work and practice and get better at. And sometimes when you put yourself in a situation where where you have to produce and you have to, come to the table, you'd be surprised at how well you can do. I see a lot of my clients when I challenge them, get on, do a Facebook Live, do a YouTube Live. I don't care what it is. Do it. What do I talk about? Tell them your name. Tell them a story. Tell me a story. Tell me your why that led you to coaching. Whatever it is, talk about your headline that we came up with, that I helped you with, figure out. And just see where it goes. Doesn't matter if it's 30 seconds, 3 minutes, or 3 hours. Just talk. I don't care what it looks like. If it's dark, if it's, they can't see you, they can't hear you. Just talk and see what happens. And then we work on all those things as we go along. And that's the objective of it. And that's why as I go back to that visibility challenge in my private Facebook group, really part of it is that, especially for the people that will be listening and watching this, I'm trying to create an environment that really allows you to just be okay with getting something out there. And like I said, this is the 4th time I'm doing it. And in the first 3 times that I've done it, it's been so cool to see how people have come along and progressed. Some people have gone on and done literally hundreds of videos. And I'd say this, and the majority of people who started it never finished it, right? And I say that on purpose because the reality is most people who start something never finish it. I need to say that again. And what's the percentage? It's a lot. A lot of people who start something never finish it. So I'm encouraging, that's the self-defined aspect of the visibility challenge. And as you start to become more visible maybe I recommend in the challenge 30 videos over 91 days. That's basically a video every 3 days, right? Which might be too aggressive for some people right out of the gates. So do a video a week. Do a video every 2 weeks. And don't commit to a certain number. Just commit to like some type of consistency and start to see what you can create there. Start to see what you can extract from yourself. And then each video you create, I want you to get a little bit better. Watch yourself back. You've got to watch yourself. Now, I guess my story with video comes back to the fitness industry. When I was in the fitness industry, cumulatively close to, I think it was just over 18 years. Shut this phone off. But I was just over 18 years in the fitness industry. And how I started with video was I started working for a company where they're a national company where I did trainings, and I taught group fitness classes. And we had to video ourselves teaching the class because it was a strength training class and it was in front of a group. And with strength training, as you can imagine, your technique, your form, people are role modeling you. They're looking to you to figure out where they need to put the bar or where they place it or how you stand or what your posture is like or how you're moving. And you're that role model and you're a physical role model. So we had to film ourselves and then watch ourselves on film and listen to ourselves. Not only we need to be a physical role model, but we need to cue and pre-cue on time so they knew when any movement changes were coming. We had to give cues, verbal, visual cues on how to move, how to improve their technique, how to correct someone in a group of people if someone's doing something incorrectly or wrong so they don't hurt themselves. Right. And all that trying to be like fun and charming and kick their ass in a workout and try and get them through so they make them want to come back again, So there's a lot involved with that. And so I had to film myself for that. Not only that, when I started doing training on the national level, I literally traveled around the world for it, went to Japan, things like that, which is a great experience. But I had to film myself in training and presenting myself in front of people. And how did I present? And how did I speak? And was I conveying my message clearly enough? So I had to watch myself. And I tell you, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun watching myself and listening to myself. But what happened was, and that was a great thing, and it helped me when I come to video here, and I do this for my business now as a coach, is it what it allowed me to do is really understand is not look at myself and like, oh, I suck and blah, 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 just like, but have to look at myself and say, what am I doing well? Where can I improve? And then the next time when I do it, consciously start to think about, okay, I'm using filler words, or I need to take more time, or I need to take a breath or a pause in between this, or if it's a physical thing and how I'm moving or how I look, it's how do I need to move? How do I correct those things and practice those things, and then go back and over time you become to master it and you get better at it, you know? And like I like to bring that here to this business is it doesn't matter whether it's a coaching skill set. As a coach, it doesn't matter if it's a selling skill set, which you're always going to be working on, videoing yourself, speaking your message. It's the repetition of it. And when you look at people out there, you know, who are your role models, and like Tony Robbins or Gary Vaynerchuk, or, you know, you fill in the blank. And there's so many names out there in personal development, in business that you can love and like, oh my God, they're so great. They're so great. And it's like, why are they so great? And why do you connect with them? But they constantly are practicing and they're holding their message, and they're great at what they do. And they're great at what they do, not because they were just like, were born that way. It's because they practiced it and they honed that skill set. And as you start to become more visible, you know, from the ground up, you don't do it behind the scenes. You do it in front of people. You do it by creating videos and by posting them. And you know what? Maybe people watch it and maybe they won't, but it doesn't matter. Actually, what matters is that you're practicing it. And then you do another video, another video, another video, another video. And what happens is over time, you start to get better at it. And that's my message for you today is yes, we've got that visibility challenge in my private Facebook group. And I recommend that you definitely check that out. And when you post your first video, it's today. It's not like, oh my God, I got to think about this. Is you just, maybe your first video is you get out there and be like, hey, my name's Jeff. And this is my first video. And I just pissed myself. And like, I don't know what you're going to say, but like, I'm nervous and I don't know what to talk about, but you know what? I consider this a win because I figured out how to turn my camera on. I figured out how to, you know, upload this video. I figured out how to go live, or well, I don't care what it is, but like, that's what you do, you know, because there's somewhat of a learning curve, but technology and all those things, like nowadays, it's so easy. And oh, Jeff, you can say it's easy because you've done it, but that's exactly it. You're not going to say it's easy until you do it. So if it's something with a phone, if it's something with hooking a camera up to a USB thing or going live, like just do it and figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, you call someone, you talk to someone, or you Google search and you go to YouTube and how to do a Facebook Live. And you're probably going to find 10, 15, 20 videos on how to do a Facebook Live. And you hit play and you watch it for 10 or 15 seconds or 10 or 15 minutes, and you do it as you go along and you figure it out. And next time you do it, guess what? That learning curve's gone. And now you worry about something else. And then all of a sudden you do a video and they can't see you because your lighting's crappy. It's like, oh, I need a light. Okay, so figure out a lighting system and it works, you know? So it's like, it's each time you do it, but until you do that, you're not going to figure that out. And so that's my message to you is work on that craft. And this is an opportunity with the visibility challenge for you to begin to work on your craft and to begin to practice your craft. And don't expect things to change overnight. This is a long haul. You know, when I'm mentoring my mentoring clients as I'm helping them transition to full-time business, you know, one of the first several things I'm telling them is like, it doesn't mean you can't get paid sooner than later. But I'm like, for you to get paid and paid well consistently month after month, where there's not like a big high and then a zero and then another, you know, one of those things, or at any level, it's like, we've got to wind this thing up and we got to keep this thing going. And I need you to stay in this game. I need you to stay in this game for a long time. And we need to just go step by step, and we need to find your pace. And that's what this is about. And that's why as you start to do videos, it's like, work on your pace. And maybe you can't commit to a certain number of videos. Maybe it's like, you know, I'm going to do one and I'm going to get that done. And then I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to go pass out because it's so exhausting. And then I'm going to do it again. And the next day I'm going to be like, all right, let's try this again. Or a couple of days later. And I'm going to watch my video and I'm going to take some notes. And I'm going to make of the notes. I'm not going to pick on every freaking thing. I'm going to pick one thing maybe with the technical aspect, you know, in terms of lighting, quality, sound, or whatever like that, one thing. And I'm going to pick one thing about myself that I want to improve upon. Maybe it's something I say. Maybe it's getting more concise thought. Maybe it's looking directly at the camera, which is a hard thing to do sometimes. And then I'm going to do the next video, and I'm going to think about delivering that concise message or whatever that point is, and then I'm going to work on that one point from the technical aspect. And I'm going to do that over and over again. So my hope is for you is that this is getting you to that point where you can actually get your first video done, is because I can't tell you how many people with that challenge, it's like they never did their first video, and they're watching all these other videos, and they're sitting on the sidelines, and they're like, oh, I really want to do this. Or, they're working up, and tomorrow, and, I got to stretch out, and I got to get this, and, I got to go buy a camera. I'm going to go buy lights, and I'm going to go on eBay and get all this stuff. And it's just like, you got a smartphone. It's just like, turn it on. You have it. You have all the technology. When I started doing this years ago, like I had to film myself. I had a camcorder with like those mini DV tapes, that you had to actually put in the camcorder. And it was in a palm quarter. I don't know what they're called. And this wasn't that long ago. This is like 10 years ago. It sounds like I'm ancient, but this is like 10, 15 years ago as I started doing videos. Technology has changed so much now. Like I can get on my phone right now and do a Facebook Live from anywhere in the world, whether I have internet or not. I have cell service. I can do a live video from this thing with a push of a button. Like, and I had to film this, and then I had it on a tripod, and then I had to take that and pull it and plug that into my computer and transfer the video to there. And it's like that I had to upload it. And it was a mess. It was a technical mess, and it was hard, but it wasn't an excuse. So we have no excuses now because it's so dumbed down easy for us. And it's a matter of you getting your first video done. And that's really where I encourage you to go. In terms of the visibility challenge, go to sellingcoaching.com to visit my private Facebook group. If you're not there, go at the top of every page at sellingcoaching.com. Click that link, get you over to that Facebook group. I'll let you in if you click to join. Check out the announcements page. I've got a 30-minute video in there you can watch where I go over it all in a lot more detail. I also have a link you can click, which pulls up a PDF, which I kind of walk you through. It's, I think, maybe 3 pages at the most of kind of talking you through why and how and all that good stuff and some of the aspects in there. Of course, if you have any questions, you can just write in that post and ask me a question, and we can go from there as well. But what I'd encourage you to do is essentially I ask you to do 30 videos over 91 days. Like I said, it's self-defined. So you can, change, do more, do less, just decide what you want to do. Another aspect to it that I find is really helpful is having a buddy system. So do this with a person, do this with multiple people, invite some people into the group. I saw right before I did this broadcast today, I saw someone invited a couple other people. I know that person wants to do the visibility challenge, so I'm guessing that she's looking to maybe do it with her 2 buddies. If you don't have a buddy, post in there, hey, I want to do this challenge. I want to buddy with somebody, who wants to do this with me. And it's kind of like self-accountability, But like if you're serious about it, like make sure you're serious about it. Find someone else who's serious about it. You don't need dragging someone else along or having, you got to work together on this. So that buddy system is really important as you go along. I'm going to be making videos as well, posting them in there. My commitment to everybody is watching some of the videos. I'm going to watch every video, not in its entirety, but I'm watching some of those videos. My client videos, I always watch start to finish because I really want to start to get to know that. But I will comment on every video, like or love every video, because I want you to do the same thing, not every single one, but, do 1 or 2 after you post yours. Pay a little bit back, give some other people some support. Watch some of the videos. And just and don't judge people or be critical on them. Just watch them and just recognize like where this person is, and give them some inspiring words like you're doing a great job. Tell them something you liked about what they did. And do that encouragement in there. And that's easy ways to do it is if you film yourself using like a smartphone as an example, just upload that video right into the Facebook group on its own post. And in that link there at the announcements, I talk about what to do in there, write number 1 of 30 or 1 of however many you're going to, videos you're going to, kind of commit to making. And then I'd say like write a title, write a brief description in there. So it's not just, 1 of 30 and that's it. Like entice someone to watch it a little bit. And I would encourage you to upload your videos there. I cannot have anyone do a Facebook Live broadcast from my Facebook group, but you can certainly do a Facebook broadcast from your Facebook profile or your Facebook page, and then you can share that in the group as part of the challenge, and you can write, number, 2 of 30 or whatever number video that is, and write a little description. You can certainly do that. If you have a video that you put on YouTube, what I would have you is don't just share your YouTube link, because that's just going to have a link that's going to take people away from the group into a YouTube. So I can't have those. What I have you do is upload the actual video to Facebook, to that Facebook group, and this way people can actually watch it right from the group. If you want to get more people watching your videos, you've got to upload the video directly to your group or share a Facebook Live that you did with the group. and therefore the video will be right there so people can just hit play and they can watch it right from the group.